What's up everybody, back again with another raid guide, and this time we're taking a look at Sir Smacks-a-Lot Heroic Sludgefist. I'll be going over how we dealt with all of the mechanics during this encounter, as well as some tips and tricks to help you smack back. So, apart from the boss having more HP and smacking a lot harder, you will also have to deal with something called Chain Slam. Targets a random ranged player, immobilizing that player for 4 seconds, then drags the Chain Slam player and anyone within 7 yards into the boss, dealing lethal damage split between players. Now, the easiest way to deal with this is to simply have every ranged and healer take it. If you want to min-max a bit, you can opt to put all range in it but leave healers out. If a healer is chained with a DPS, the healer and that DPS stays out, which means all healers can focus on pumping that sweet HPS. Other than that, all mechanics are roughly the same, they just hurt a metric ton more, making this a real DPS and healing check, and might send your tank spiraling down a dark road. The tank damage can get pretty dang spicy, especially during the enrage portion of the fight, sub 30%. On the flip side, DPSers really need to be on top of their game during this encounter. We played around with CDs a little bit, but we ended up doing pretty much exactly what almost everyone else have done. Pop 1 and 2 minute cooldowns on pull, 1 and 3 minute CDs on first damage increase after pillar charge, 1 and 2 minute CDs on second pillar, 1 minute cooldowns on the third pillar, then all cooldowns Bloodlust combat potion on the last pillar. Doing so means you spend the least amount of time possible in the enrage part of the fight, which believe me is super fun tanking. And the last thing to go through before we hop into the fight is the falling rubble. This will be targeted underneath a random player in the raid, and shortly after rubble comes falling down, stunning anyone hit, but also leaves a stone quake or zone at the location of impact. If you move through it, your movement speed is reduced by 25% while you're in it, and you take a bit of damage. So to deal with this in the easiest manner, stack and move together. All range stack in one group, not too far behind the boss, and melee, well, stacks in melee. Make sure that you move as a group and try to stack near old rubble zones so you bait new rubbles near the old ones. Other than that, it's just about dishing out enough damage and moving raid/boss appropriately. So let's do a quick breakdown of the fight. On pull, tank Sludge roughly where he is at the start of the fight, all range stack neatly near the wall next to the top left pillar, as seen in this award-winning picture. Keep filling up rubble near the wall and move out of the stomp as a group towards wherever you want rubble to spawn, as it can spawn right after the stomp, just to avoid having it in weird places. Make sure Chain Slam is split between enough players so no one dies, and make sure to run back as a group. After second stomp, you get your first charge. On our first kill, we went with this order for the pillars, but in retrospect, I'd probably go for this order instead. Both works, we've killed it with both now as of recording this. I just think the second one worked a little bit better. Anyways, on our kill try, we charged it into the top right pillar. All range should move so that they can for sure hit boss during charge and after. Use 1 and 2 minute DPS cooldowns for this. Keep in mind that you want the big damage to start as soon as the boss takes increased damage. So if you have any setup before Dam, set it up before so you don't spend half the damage increase ramping up. Following the damage increase, it's pretty much rinse, repeat. As soon as the damage increase ends, boss will do a roar, then continue his smacking. So following this, we pull the boss back a bit towards the wall to use up some of the space in the back for more rubble. Move him towards the second pillar if needed to give melee more space to drop rubble. And range, just keep following boss and melee. Stay stacked and fill in free space with rubble. For the second charge, we smacked him into the bottom right pillar, and we used 1 and 3 minutes cooldown for this burst. Following the damage increase, if there's space around the pillar you just smashed, keep boss there for a bit or move him down further towards the entrance so melee uses that space and range the space around the second pillar. And just keep moving boss slowly towards the third pillar if you need more space. Just watch out so you don't break it with the stomp. Third charge, bottom left pillar, you should be around 30 to 40% after this burn. Once boss hits 30%, enrage starts, so he hits faster and harder. Following the third pillar, use up space around the entrance and move boss towards the last pillar if needed. And it's pretty much all about surviving the enrage at this point. As soon as you charge the fourth pillar, you pop everything. 1, 2 and 3 minute cooldowns, Bloodlust combat pot, and the boss should really just melt unless you have 7 people dead. And that's pretty much it. Few last words for the fight. Tank damage is very manageable up until the enrage, where it gets a little bit out of hand. So do make sure you have tank cooldowns and externals ready for when boss hits 30%, or sad times ahead. Healers, make sure to have healing cooldowns ready for the pillar charges, colossal roar. FYI, anti-magic zone works for this. Also, unbind movement abilities. I'm almost not joking. The amount of time people dash away instinctively to avoid a mechanic and snaps a chain is almost breathtaking. But lastly, if you have any questions at all about this encounter, hit me up in the comments or become a patron and get access to the Stankie Discord where you can find raid week auras, healing notes, etc, etc. Also, don't forget the usual stuff, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I'm also now streaming all of our progression on Twitch, as well as a lot of M+ and other shenanigans, so make sure to check that out at Stankie Gaming. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.